Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Good day to you anywhere you are listening. I am Yemi Olaleye. I'm a market analyst at FX Pro, and this is the weekly outlook in the market. And let's see the forecast we have for this week across the currency pairs that we trade. Starting from the fundamental outlook as usual. Looking at the market first on the fundamental space from the Forex Factory, focusing on only the high impact news. And Monday, 26th of May till 30th of May is the highlight for the week. And on Monday, we have GDP and US dollar having bank holidays. And then on Tuesday, we have no high impact news. So basically, we're starting from the 28th of May, which is Wednesday. And that is when we have most of the high impact news for the week. We have AUD, we have NZD, and we have US dollar. AUD is coming up to 30 a.m. Nigerian time. That is CPI yearly by yearly. And we also have NZD coming up 3 a.m. Nigerian time, which is the official cash rate, and monetary policy statement for RBNZ. And of course, US dollar 7 p.m. Nigerian time is the FOMC meeting. On the Thursday, 29th, we have all day long for the bank holiday in Swiss franc, on euro, on Swiss franc and euro, basically. So German bank holiday is coming up, French bank holiday is coming up, and we are expecting that to be a little bit quiet of a day. On that same day, 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time, US dollar coming up on prelim GDP and unemployment claims, as well as for the Great Britain pounds coming up 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Governor Bailey will speak. All day long for Friday, Euro will be having German prelim CPI, and 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time, Canadian dollar and US dollar is coming up with the GDP and the core PCE, which is the price index monthly by monthly consecutively. And this is the highlight for the week on the fundamental outlook. Now let's go straight to the business. Let's check out what we have on the technical part of the business. From the DXY, let's see what we have for this week. Last week played significantly a little bit of what we anticipated, starting with the opening gap for the week. But in between the weeks, we're able to grab few pips from the market. However, for this week, therefore, let's start from the monthly time frame and let's see how far we've gone. On the monthly time frame, we've seen a bearish momentum all through. It has broken through the previous month that we anticipated here, and it's closing below currently, which means this is a very strong bearish momentum. As much as we have this bearish imbalance zone above here, we also have another bearish imbalance zone currently sitting here if the market closes just like this in this week. But of course, we still leave this to run because the market is not yet closing on the monthly time frame. But ideally, this looks more bearish momentum, and let's see where this will take us, most likely on the lower time frame. And this is another level, another zone we can look out for on the lower time frame. But let's go there first. Let's see. On the weekly time frame, on the weekly time frame, we've seen that the price is actually breaking through this zone after the 4 weeks consecutive of struggle buy in the market to completely favor the gap for the bearish momentum, with a throw of week to the upside, grabbing liquidity. And last week was a fantastic bearish Marubozu candle found at this price level, closing below the low of the candlestick of July 2023. And that is also one of the places we're expecting. And currently now, what will be the anticipation is to see how DXY will close below this price level of the 4 weeks candle or 4 weeks ago candle, 5 weeks ago candle, which was here. All right. So are we looking at how this will continue to sell into this price range before we have a quality buy setup that will give us high probability setups on other currency pairs that has to do with US dollar? So ideally on this weekly time frame, I would only be expecting more bearish momentum, a little bit of bullish, then bearish to break up below this level, then for this to continue. This will be my outlook on the weekly for the XY. A lot is happening right now. Fundamental, we also have great impacts in the market for this week because little information on the tariff war might likely begin again with the USA and the China. So it might likely be an eventful week, of course, and that will definitely turn the table somehow in the market. So anything is expected, but basically we're analyzing based on what we're looking at in the market right now. And of course, on the daily time frame, let's see what we have. On the daily time frame, this level still looks very reasonable for us to expect to anticipate the price to come into for reaction in the coming days. I will be expecting this level to be taken out. Like I said, there's no repetition. I will just be waiting for all of this to happen because this seems more like the bearish are in the control when it comes to DXY. So right here, we finish all of the ranges, grab liquidity above the price, liquidity below the price, closing below the price currently. Let's see how the market will react. If we are not going back into this range, then we should expect more bearish momentum on the DXY. So basically, this is what I'm looking at on the DXY. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Let's see if we have anything different. On the 4-hour time frame, nothing is really different. We don't need all the data, just the most important one right now. So this sounds more like a circle. What we've seen here, the price is creating something like this, created something like this, back to here, and currently here. So what are you looking at? Are you not seeing the price that may likely do something like this, right? Just to complete what we've started, to make it look this way. All right. So for basically to keep it simple, we'll just be looking for what we've analyzed over the higher time frame. Ideally, this will still remain my bias on DXY for this week going forward. And by the way, there is no price. This is a balanced price range, okay? So I'm not seeing a balance. I'm not seeing a gap above. I'm not seeing a favorable gap above the price where I'm anticipating the price to really get to before it move back into a bearish momentum. But ideally, we can just analyze and do something like this. We can just make it a little bit better by reducing our risk. If we are trading intraday and we are not really swinging, we can make it a little bit just like this to fit in for everybody. All right. So this is the outlook I have for the DXY for this week. All right. So bearish momentum. And of course, the market might open with another week, another weekly gap. Yeah. So the new week opening gap might still happen. So let's be hopeful. Let's keep the open mind. Let's be open-minded. And on monthly time frame for the Euro US dollar, that's what was happening. Massive bullish momentum. Like I told you last week that I'll still be targeting this high price level, that it looks more like the price is going to rehearse with that zone. Okay. Currently, we have this as the monthly time frame for the past 3 months. It's been massive. And then for the last 3 months, we have a bullish favor the gap zone right here, which we are not dealing with for now because the market is far away with high momentum in the market until we see a change of character on the lower time frame. So currently, this remains bullish. And let's see the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame shows that last week was a completely bullish candle, all right? A complete bullish candle with almost no wick. And this is almost a bullish Marubozu, but where it's forming really matters. And what we can see is previous week, the candlestick that we had was a balanced price range for what price action I've said before then. Something like this. Everything from here from this price level to this price level has been balanced with this candle. So this week was a continuation to an upside, and it happened so fast and so massive that the market was almost all bullish without almost 0 week, right? Almost 0 week on the weekly time frame. So which means with this momentum, the buy might just continue. Let me take out some of those information, but let me take you there before I take them out. Let me see. This was the outlook I had during the week with my community. And on the daily time frame, what I was anticipating was to see a Friday to close above the Wednesday high and then retrace below it. So this was done in the morning on Friday, and this is how the market played out eventually on that same Friday. But with what this is looking like, the market did not close below where I'm anticipating. It closes here, and this is leaving me with no much bias then to seek more bullish momentum from this perspective. So all of this now is to say that I'll be expecting more bullish momentum on this trade. Though the price was actually on the price level, I was expecting reaction, but what happened eventually didn't close well as I was anticipating. So as it is, the level I marked before now still remains the same, which is here. And like I said, I'll be waiting for the price of the market to break this high before I have further thing to analyze on this trade. So basically on the daily time frame, this still remains bullish, which is about 82 pips. 82 pips, which is not bad. So ideally, if I'm going to be expecting anything for this week, we just be waiting. The least the market would do in my anticipation is if I can wait for the price to retrace back here before it hit this level for the week. And if that will be happening, that is about 109 pips, which is quite easy. Last week did about 102 pips, and that's what we're expecting as an average of 100 pips on a weekly basis. So this is just my outlook for this week on Euro US dollar. And let's see what we have on the 4-hour time frame. Let's see if this coincide or it happens to fill in with fact. All right, so what we're looking at, you see, this is looking more like a picture like I shared on the DXY. This is just the inverse of that. So what do you think? What do you see? Right? Looking at this from this perspective, that the market is creating another flow, and with this, it's more or less like we're expecting this level to be completed. So how long will this take? I never know. How long it will take? I never know. I'm not interested in knowing. All I want is to flow with the market, to blend in and to make profit, whichever direction the market is showing that momentum. So that's really the goal. So basically, on this 4 hour time frame, therefore, I'm going to remove this guy. I'm going to remove this. Okay. So on this 4 hour time frame, therefore, I'll be expecting more bullish momentum. Right here, everything you've seen here, the market has been validated and currently still struggling at those price levels. So somehow this might look a bit trickish, but then if we are trading on a higher time frame, it could either be a better chance, or we could either have a better edge of taking more profitable decision on this particular setup. So basically for me, I'll be looking for more of bullish momentum on the long run on Euro US dollar. Ideally, this has created higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, expecting reaction from here until this breaks below here and create something like this. Okay, that's when I'll be looking forward for a sell momentum. And ideally, if I'll be expecting a sell momentum, this is a level, this is one level which I'm expecting a bit of liquidity to be grabbed before I have further outlook on this. But as you know, I don't do analysis based on buy or sell. If it doesn't buy, it will sell. I go with a direction. But I'm giving you a scenario whereby if this is not what we're expecting, but before I'm going to buy again, would rather be when the price gets in here. But rather, if I'm not going to wait for the price to get in here, then I can follow the ride. Okay? Because this looks bullish to me on a higher time frame. So that is what I'm saying on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, if we have an opportunity to sell off, where would it be? Not seen anywhere here. Not seen anywhere. Okay, not seen anywhere. All right, let's see on the Great Britain pounds US dollar. Let's see what we have. On the GU, yes, this happened this way. That was on 4 hour time frame. This and this. Let's see from the daily imbalance, and it's been buying since then. Okay, let's go to the monthly time frame to start with. From the monthly time frame. So looking at this, I told you like this is also where I'm expecting this to get to. And during the week, I anticipated this level to be broken, and it has been broken on Friday. And then what do we have? This is the next target, which I'm not going to be actually looking at right now because what I'm seeing here is different. So I'm going to take out everything on this chart so we can have a new one. Right here has been a 4 month of consecutive bullish momentum and energy, right? And we do not have any bullish imbalance right here. We don't have any bullish imbalance zone right here, just like we had on DXY and Euro US dollar. So which means something is really fishy. There's the divergence going on right there. And then let's see, this month has not ended yet. Had it been the month has ended yet, we would have found an opportunity to seek a sell momentum into this range before we buy again. But this is not happening yet. So what are we having? This level has been taken out completely right now in the market, but the market is not closing because this is the monthly time frame. But this remains bullish because this will be the next target I'll be expecting in the market. And that is about on 700 pips on average at 0.7, at 1.4252. Okay, let's go to the weekly time frame. Let's see what we have. On the weekly, after the fourth series of weeks that we had a ranging momentum right there, the fourth week, which was the previous week, did that exact thing we had on the Euro US dollar, which was the balance price range. The market filled in the gap that we had here, and ever since then, the market pushed out completely. So if we're going to analyze this is how we're going to do so. Basically, I was going to look at this entire level as a ranging zone, right? And what am I having now is the price closing above that ranging zone with this momentum, almost 0 week. So when price is closing with almost 0 week, what are we expecting? So we need to see how the market may likely play out based on history, based on data. And let's see what we have on the weekly time frame. This is where the market is right now. It took out this high, took out this high. Now currently, where is the next zone? This is the next level. This is the next level. All of these are just liquidity, a trendline liquidity, so to say. So all of this price range, we're expecting the price to still react and break above them because this will now be my new target in the market. And that is about 700 pips, like I said, on average. So basically, am I expecting a sell right here? Not really, because what I'm seeing here is the market has broken this level. And if I'm going to see that, okay, probably a little sell momentum into this price range, then grab liquidity, then move into here. So this will be my outlook. From here, we'll have a reaction. This is my outlook on weekly. On day, Great Britain pounds US dollar. So let's go to the daily time frame. Let's see what we have. On the daily, we have something like this, looking good a little bit. I think it's better than the Euro US dollar in a way, because this is not leaving us with much bearish momentum as well, but more significant bullish energy. And we've seen that happening. All right. So right here, we see a momentum candle. We see momentum candle on Friday. Friday alone bought about how many pips? About 137 pips in total. And that was after the bearish momentum of that was after the doji momentum, which was zero momentum, so to say. This is a doji candle on Thursday. So Thursday last week was a doji momentum right here and followed with this massive momentum. So this leaves us with no other bias than a bullish momentum for the coming week on Great Britain pounds US dollar, because personally I would be expecting all of this to play out. I will be expecting this to play out. Everything happened here, anticipating it to happen again till this circle is filled. So basically, for me, this is my outlook on Great Britain pounds US dollar, and this is on how many time frame? This is on daily time frame. Okay, this is on daily time frame. So everything that happened was here. Okay, so this is where the market is right now. I'm just expecting it to do a little bit of this 700 pips again, and we move on. All right. So that is that on that, and let's move to the 4-hour time frame to conclude, and let's see for the intraday opportunities if there will be any shifts in momentum or if there is anything we can anticipate in that regard. All right. On 4-hour time frame, we can expect a sell, of course, as well. We can expect a sell momentum either to this price level right here is also possible where we have something like this. But the price looks so bullish right now. I won't be even looking at this, so to say, on 4-hour time frame. I'll just be leaving this to higher time frame analysis. This is about 73 pips momentum for a sell. But the way the market broke, well, it's possible if the market breaks down with a gap, new week opening gap, just fall in here, then it's a very, very fantastic point to buy from. All right. So basically, you can do your research, do your analysis, follow the history of data, and this is what I'm looking at in the market, basically. This entire circle has been taken out right here with this massive momentum. So if I have to do something like this is about 137 pips. What is the average of that? To be around here. What is the level next to that? It will be at this price level. So which means if I'm going to even use a Fibonacci tool to analyze this to anticipate, that means I'll be looking for a price level that is even lower, which is right here. So I'll be looking for an institutional reference point, which is around here. And for me, I don't think is what I want to do. Basically, this is showing more bullish momentum than to wait for this. But if I thought if I'm going to buy again or if the market will sell and I'm going to seek a buy momentum again, a buy opportunity will be right here for me on this price level. So I either target any of these two. But before then, we're going to see how the market will close, and on daily time frame on Monday, then we will know what else to do with this outlook. So basically, I have this on the charts, and on the higher time frame, you've seen how it's going already. Okay, this cannot contain all the data, but it could contain it on the daily time frame. So this is it completed on 4-hour time frame, but on daily time frame, we have a lot to do more. So about 700 pips is not small pips in the market. I'm looking forward to that. Okay. So let's go to the next one. We have the AUD US dollar. AUD USD has been a fantastic guy, but a ranging one. I'm not really looking much into it. All right. On the monthly time frame, let's see what we have on the monthly time frame. Monthly time frame. All right, it's also been bullish after grabbing liquidity for last month, which was massive. I talked about that before now. And I also explained that I'll be expecting it to get into this price level because this is where I'm having an opportunity in the future. This is a monthly time frame, and that is a lot, not really too a lot. This is about 450 pips on average. But on weekly time frame, let's see what the market is saying. Let's see what it's doing. On the weekly time frame, we had a weekly imbalance zone, which was a bullish momentum. The market has not tapped into it yet, but the market is buying already. Last week, the market bought about 120 pips for AUD US dollar, over 109 pips or thereabouts for Euro US dollar, 137 pips for Great Britain pounds US dollar, which means all of these guys had this bullish momentum energy going on. So if you look at this from this perspective on the weekly time frame, are you seeing a chart like this? Are you seeing something like this? This is a bit slower than what we had on the other guys. Euro US dollar created something like this, if you remember. Great Britain pounds US dollar also created something like this. So Great Britain pounds US dollar is more closer to the completion of its own circle based on what we saw. And Euro US dollar is a little bit far away. And this is even farther in its own construct and price action compared to the Euro US dollar. So, which means on this particularly, I'm still expecting more bullish momentum on the AUD US dollar weekly time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame. Let's see what we have. This is what I'm looking at on the other guy. So let's take it out on the daily. Last week was a ranging one. Ideally, entire US AUD USD has been a ranging one for me. So I would rather be waiting for the market to break out of any of these zone before I take a buy momentum. But then with the way it's looking, I would go for the bullish bias. And of course, if the opposite happens, whereby it has to close below and do all of that and come back to a price level like this, okay, that's not bad for me. I can take a sell from there. But currently, my bias remains bullish because that is what I'm looking at in the market now. And of course, for this to be a very much ranging pair, I admit I've not been trading this guy for a while. I've been avoiding it. I said it last time. I've been avoiding it for so much reasons because it's not really looking good. It's ranging. I can't gamble it. Okay. So this on AUD US dollar. Nothing really much. I'll be expecting more bullish momentum on higher time frame. Higher time frame. If I'll be selling off, I'll wait for this to happen, then wait for the price to come back to this price level before I sell off. But then currently, this is what I'm looking at, and this is here. Okay. I showed you this before. At the end of the day, this is what I'm just expecting. All right. This is on AUD US dollar. Let's see what we have on USD CAD. Last week we analyzed USD CAD for a sell. It sold a while, but let's see what we have again. Let's see the kind of opportunities we have here. This is a massive bearish momentum, just like you saw it on the DXY itself. This is a massive bearish momentum, all right. And what are we expecting? The price to still drop further. So at least what price zone to this price zone, right? Something like this. How many pips is that in total? That's about 270 pips in total. Going to the weekly time frame, I'm going to take out that level, but ideally it's still very relevant, so to say. It's relevant. Last week was a very bearish momentum in the market, and what can you see is that the market created a bearish momentum candle which broke through the previous week's candle right here, close below them. And of course, what are we expecting? This is also a signal for more bullish momentum, more bearish momentum on this trade. So USD card still remains a bearish momentum to me from what I'm seeing on the chart, and I can anticipate that to happen till it gets down to this price level on the weekly time frame. And I say this still looks a bit of about 270 pips in total on average, rather on average in the market. So let's check out what we have on the let's check out what we have on the daily time frame. Let's see. On the daily, we had massive Friday, broke through all of this level. So what are we expecting again? I can be expecting a bit of buy into this level and continuation of a sell into which level? About this zone. All right. I'll be waiting for this zone. This level here, this price range. I'll just be waiting for the price to come in here. All right. So for me, yeah, calculating this is about 221 pips. Above 200 pips is fine. It's fine. It's very okay. And when you look at this, it's just the inverse of the cycle I was showing you on the previous three candles. All right. This is just the inverse. Okay. Expecting a little bit of this to complete. This is more or less like Great Britain pounds US dollar in inversion because it's very close to completing that cycle. And I don't know what you see, but this is what I see on the chart. All right. So let's go. Let's go. I'm going to take out this. I'm taking out this and also taking out this. I want a chart to be clean. Okay. All right. Let's see what we have on the 4 hour time frame. If we have, or if we stand a chance to see more bearish momentum or bullish momentum. Okay. So looking at the previous lower price level, which was here, marking it. All right, taking out the previous guy. So marking out these. And of course, on the 4 hour time frame, we had massive bearish momentum from here to here, completing this M formation. After the break of this level, the market has not retested this zone yet, which we were expecting at a point. Okay, I was expecting this to happen at a point. Okay, so just like that, but I was expecting something much better than just like this, and before we had this entire sale. Ideally, when we have a liquidity pool like this, massive sale like this, it's important market closing below a structure, we expect or anticipate a retracement, a quality retracement. If we're going to do that, I can expect this to happen into this price range, and fill it in out. Like this entire range right here, because this is also a fair value gap zone for a bearish direction. All right, but I'm just anticipating that it might actually take it out before it start moving. Ordinarily, I expect the average or I expect the few, but in this case, it might actually take it out before this happen. Why? Because I'll be expecting a little bit of premium and discounts market play. So which means above this level is where we have the 0.5, and this level is also a very good one. The market might actually still come in here or find its way in between this or anywhere just above the 0.5, which is the absolute price level above the bearish fair value gap zone. So this is the outlook for me. This is what I'm looking at on average, anyways. This is on USD CAD 4 hour time frame. This is what I'm looking at. So waiting for the chart to load. Can you see that now? So ideally, at the end of the day, I'm expecting overall of a sell into this price range. Then from there, I can now discuss what I'm saying, whether I want to see more sell or I want to see more buy on this trade. Okay, that being said, let's go to the USDJPY. Do we have anything fantastic around that guy? USDJPY has been a tough guy since last week, mentally torturing to my community because we're expecting it to sell or to buy rather from here, which was from last week analysis, and actually he's not really been doing that. So what I saw was more of ranging within that price range and testing that price range, testing the patience of the traders, trading within those price levels. But what I told my community is to wait and let the stop loss be hit from here. And if that happens, just like we're seeing on DXY, mostly expecting it to happen, well, we can expect the price to come in here in the future. That means we can always still see a bullish momentum from this price level here. Okay. And from there to where the current market price is, this will be about 238p or 240 pips on average. From where we have to where the stop loss will be hit is about 32 pips or 30 pips on average. If that happens, we still have opportunity to still make the market for another about 150 pips before we even jump on a buy. So basically for me, if the cycle is not completed here, then based on DXY formation, I can always expect this sell to happen. So if the stop loss will be hit, it's fine. But I'm not jumping out of that. So I still sitting on it because expecting that bullish momentum. And that also expecting it to be about 1:10 risk reward ratio. That is it on 4 hour time frame. But on the monthly time frame, let's quickly run through. Weekly time frame, we have the monthly time frame. Bam, 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 bam. For the past 5 months, it's been bearish momentum. This month also, it has been pulling some strings. But let's see the weekly time frame outlook. Take this out completely. I'm going to take out many things, don't worry. So this was the last low we had here, and I'm expecting this level to actually still take it out. That was what I just drew down. Okay, currently it's at the price zone that we're expecting momentum for a bullish energy. But if this is not going to hold, from what we're looking at, this is so massive for last week. This is really massive. From what I'm looking at, it may likely not hold. And if it's not holding, fantastic. We're going to wait for another opportunity below the price level here. So basically, I'm going to take out this one. So basically, I'm seeing this as an energy for us to prepare ourselves for anything that can happen this week. Fundamental is coming up. It will definitely shake the market a bit. All right. I believe so much in that. Fundamental that will come up will shake the market. Some are not on the forex factory, but some will still shake the market. Okay. Coming from the US, and importantly, had to do with China. So I expect more volatility in the market. Even gold will have its own cut in this momentum. All right. This impact will touch everyone. Okay. This is on weekly time frame. Let's see the daily time frame. The daily time frame has been selling for the back to back 2 weeks back into this range. And of course, I was anticipating a buy from this range. It's not buying yet, but if it hits the stop loss, then fine. We're selling though into this range. And if it's not hitting the stop loss, then we're buying according to the last week outlook. On the 4 hour time frame, it remains the same, just like this. What we had there. I don't think I need all this line. I don't need all this line. Okay. I don't need this one too. So currently, this is what I have. This is what I have here. After this massive bearish momentum, this is trendline liquidity, which there's a lot of money residing above these price levels, okay? Whereby expecting this to just happen and boom and bam. All right. In fact, it can actually still get up to this price level, but okay, let's just keep it simple. Let's see how the market will react. We are not going to jump onto the market without reason. So let's see the reaction. Let's have a reason why we want to buy or sell, and let's support our buyers with that. All right, let's go to the last guy, which is the gold, and let's see what gold is saying. Anticipating gold to do a bit of this back and forth, but currently, look at what gold is doing. It's creating those two doji guys above. So let me just take it out clearly. On the monthly time frame, I've been on bullish ride for gold because expecting more bullish momentum from it. Then I can take out every other thing. This was the previous high level, okay? on the weekly, what do we have? I was seeing more of range in here, and I was expecting more bearish momentum in here, back and forth before this level broken out. But currently, it's showing more bullish energy. But for this week, we're going to determine what will be the fate of gold. Will it be outside of this range, and we can expect more bullish momentum to break the all-time high of that 3,500, or we should just wait for it to create more bearish energy? Let's go to the lower time frame to see. On the lower time frame, on the daily is a little bit closing above that trend line. And if this should be the case, we'll wait for this continuation of breaking above this trend line. This level will be the next level, expecting gold to get to if this is breaking above trend line. And let's see how Monday will play out. There's bank holiday, of course, but let's see the reaction in the market. And in the past few weeks, you notice that the market has actually been doing more of engagement, more volatility on the days the market is quiet in fundamentally, like bank holidays, the market really move fantastically. So let's see whether tomorrow, or let's see whether Monday will also be one of those days. Okay. So I'm taking out this one. I'm taking out these guys. I'm taking out this guy. I'm also taking out this guy. So let's deal with what we have on the chart right now. And this looking like, what are we expecting? I won't be waiting for this to come back in here. I may not be waiting for this to come back in here. Good has not been doing a great job at retracement in the past times. This is about 920 pips, I doubt. So which means I'll be looking at this entire zone as a price level, which gold has broken already, right? So if I'm going to be expecting any movement, any momentum right here, it might just be a little bit of retracement to balance this price range, then move to this price level. I mean retracement to balance which price range per se? I mean this right here. Okay, grab liquidity just below it and to just move from there. So this is what I'll be expecting in the market on gold, and this is on daily time frame. Let's see what we have on the 4-hour time frame. Taking out this one. 4-hour time frame just look like this. Can you see this looking like a circle as well? Do you remember what we saw on the previous pairs? Just like this. Exactly. So this will be what I'll be expecting, and expecting more reaction from this price level. So for me, I think we need to trade more cautiously with gold, especially trading it on a lower time frame. It's very difficult to scalp because it's very volatile. But anytime you want to do so, be ready for the outcome. You could actually become very rich in a matter of seconds trading gold, and it could go the other way around as well. Okay, on 4-hour time frame, we have these two candles right here, which might suggest more bullish momentum. By the way, more bullish momentum, and do something like this. So for me, I will be sticking with what I'm looking at on the chart right now. No emotion is attached. This is just business. All right. This is my outlook on gold on 4-hour time frame. Let's see if I have a better one on 15 minutes time frame or 45 minutes time frame. Let's see 1 hour. Anyways, let's see the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame also looks the same. This is what I'm expecting on the 4 hours. 1 hour is also looking the same. And of course, this one is showing more bearish momentum, like a reversal crown. But to where? To what price level exactly? Is it to this price level, which I'm seeing they tap into the fair value gap zone already, where the market has done a balanced price range here? All of this range that has done a balanced price range. So let's wait for the market to open to see more insight on what to do with gold. But currently, my outlook remains bullish on it till it finish this cycle. And how many pips is that? That is about 700 to 800 pips on average if we have to follow this by momentum. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I wish you a fantastic trading week ahead of you. Trade with proper risk management and your stop loss. It's going to be a fantastic week. I wish you all the best and have a wonderful week ahead of you. Bye for now.